You just paid $35,000 for a premium SUV. Your neighbor paid $28,000 for a different brand crossover. Plot twist, you bought the exact same car. Car manufacturers are running the biggest scam in automotive history, taking one vehicle, slapping different badges on it, and charging thousands more for literally just a logo. Today we're exposing 17 outrageous copy-paste cars that are fooling buyers on every continent. Number 1. Toyota BZ4X, Subaru Solterra 2022 present. We start with possibly the most egregious electric vehicle lie of recent memory. Toyota BZ4X and Subaru Solterra are not comparable cars, but in fact, the same vehicle that is manufactured by the same employees in the same assembly premises on the same assembly line. This all-electric Subaru was created together with Toyota, and these two companies have such minor differences that it is an insult to your intelligence. The Solterra has a somewhat modified exterior trim and some distinct accents on the dashboard. That's it. The same 72.8 kilowatt-hour battery pack, the same dual-motor all-wheel drive, the same 228-mile range, and the same charging capabilities. However, Subaru dealers will attempt to sell you on the idea that its car is, in some way, more adventure-friendly and outdoors-based. What is the difference in price? It may be as high as $3,000 and even exceed this figure depending on the market and dealer markups. The crazy factor is that the two companies do not hide this collaboration, and yet customers continue with this online argument about their advantages with a sense of comparing Rivian with a Tesla model. The production plant at Japan indeed switches between badges on a given day according to production timelines. Number 2. Ford Ranger Volkswagen AMAROK 2022 present. And here is where Volkswagen gives you the exact measure of how little they believe you value the straight engineering of a truck. The AMAROK and the Ranger are virtually the same, with the level of VW disregarding even dashing around with the dashboard design. The very same engines, transmissions, frame, and capabilities, yet VW will still overcharge you with their so-called precision marketing on their German brand. The AMAROK is allegedly the more civilized one, which is ridiculous. It is the same truck with a cosmetic treatment of the grille and headlights. The interior material may be of different textures, but we are talking about the same plastics that are shaped a bit differently. However, dealers at Volkswagen will proudly tell you that the customer of AMAROK is upscale, de-earning it their high prices. The most deceptive aspect? Both trucks move down the same assembly lines in Ford's Thailand facility. Workers frequently attach different brand logos to vehicles that are otherwise mechanically identical. The price difference can range from $2,000 to $5,000 across trim levels. Number 3. Lexus UX 250h Toyota CHR Hybrid 2018 present. The Welcome to Luxury Badge Engineering Masterclass. Lexus UX 250h and Toyota CHR have the same TNGA design, similar hybrid engines, and almost the same design of the interior space. The only significant distinction is that Lexus receives a premium price of anywhere between $8,000 to $12,000 higher to cover higher material content and branding. Each of the two cars is built in the same Japanese factories on the basis of the same hybrid system and on the basis of the same safety equipment and the same structure. The Lexus marketing tries to convince the owners the car is of higher quality and luxury and refinement, yet the powertrain is an identical, i.e., the 2.0-liter engine with the same electric motor combination. The difference in costs is absurd when bearing in mind the mechanical similarities. Toyota is selling the CHR as efficient and practical, whereas Lexus is selling the UX as technologically advanced and exclusive. It comes down to similar engineering, but with a different badge and a vastly disparate price. Number 4. Nissan ARIYA Renault MEGANE E-Tech 2021 present. This collaboration is an indication of how international alliances breed nonsense market conditions. The CMF EV platform and electric powertrains by Nissan and Renault and their battery structures are the same, yet the two models are designed to reach two different customer segments with varying price strategies. It is especially confusing that both the manufacturers describe this as their first electric vehicle, each saying that it has its own unique approach to engineering and design. The truth? Both vehicles share the same platform, materials, and core structure. However, Nissan emphasizes advanced Japanese engineering, while Renault highlights French design flair and stylistic touches. The prices variations on the international markets are absurd. In some parts, buyers will pay 20% more to ride on a Nissan nameplate than a Renault, even though the two vehicles share much of the same core engineering and are often produced in the same line. Number 5. Chevrolet Captiva 2020 present. BAOJUN 530 MG HECTOR 2019's present. This triple badge engineering scandal demonstrates how one Chinese SUV is being sold under 3 brands that are global. The Chevrolet Captiva BAOJUN 530 MG HECTOR are literally the same car, created by SAIC Motor and repacked in large scale in GM International Division and also part of the resurrection plan of MG. GM required low-cost SUVs to sell throughout Latin America and in the Middle East and did not wish to get involved in development costs. Thus, they took SAIC design out of China and put on Chevrolet badges. At the same time, MG relies on the same platform as their so-called British revival in India and other markets. The original version that is Chinese-made is the BAOJUN 530. The irony is overwhelming. Chevrolet sells American legacy, MG pays a lot of attention to British edging automotive heritage, and BAOJUN talks about Chinese innovation. One chassis, one engines, one interior architecture, 3 totally different brand stories. The products with the same engineering can cost customers in various markets wildly varied prices, and customers in some markets may simply pay 30% more due to just a badge that is modified to be fancy. Number 6. Mitsubishi Outlander Nissan Rogue 2022 present. Mitsubishi did not want to be in the SUV business anymore and ended up making a deal with the devil, literally killing them. The new Outlander is not a Mitsubishi model. It is a Nissan Rogue with the different exterior looks. Same platform, same engines, and same CVT transmission, and strikingly similar interior layouts. The pretense is more than that it has common elements. Infotainment systems are also shared by the same software, and even the service procedures are almost swappable between the 2 cars. Mitsubishi dealers were forced to undergo training on the systems of the entire Nissan to maintain its own brand of vehicle appropriately. The worst part of this all is, Mitsubishi is selling these under the name of premium products at exorbitant prices, when it is essentially Nissan technology. People who feel they are backing the little guy, Japanese brand, end up purchasing a Nissan with alternate sheet metal. The partnership that was to salvage Mitsubishi ended up making their company a Nissan subsidiary. Number 7. Cadillac LYRIQ Honda Prologue 2024 present. The next badge switch is eye-opening to even the luxury brands are willing to sacrifice their brand in order to save a penny. The Cadillac LYRIQ and Honda Prologue are based on the same GM Ultium battery platform, have the same electric powertrains, and are arguably quite similar in charging capacity, yet the 2 brands will be sold as utterly different luxury experiences. GM had designed the Ultium technology and had to spread the costs over several brands, whereas Honda had to experience electric vehicle technology without huge investment in the development. What has ended up happening is that Honda sells a GM-designed EV and Cadillac a luxury platform to a mass-market brand. The price competitions will be captivating to watch. Cadillac will also be promoting LYRIQ as a higher-priced American luxury, whereas Honda will be selling Prologue as a dependable Japanese innovation. The same kind of batteries, the same kind of motors, but the different stories sold to the different customers. Number 8. Fiat Tipo Dodge Neon, Mexico, 2016 present. This is the kind of badge that will mix up American car enthusiasts. But the Dodge Neon name is back, not in the form that you are used to. Dodge markets the Fiat Tipo sedan as a rebadged model in Mexican and some Latin American markets, but calling it by the name of its predecessor, the Dodge Neon, hence one of the most noticeable instances of rebadging in contemporary memory. The same compact sedan made in Turkey, with the same 1.4 liters, the same interior, the same everything. This is a product that Fiat created as their European low-cost sedan, but it was also an opportunity that Stellantis had to locate Dodge in developing markets usually inexpensively. The solution? Renew the badges and pray that our customers do not realize it. This badge switching is blatant to the extent that auto reporters mocked it, point blank, yet dealers of Dodge are trying to defend the use of a high price point of the same model using the swap technique. The Neon's performance in these markets demonstrated that transparent rebadging doesn't fool modern consumers. Number 9. Peugeot LANDTREK CHANGAN KAICENE F70 2020 present. This badge engineering case shown how European vehicle manufacturers subcontract entire product segments to Chinese producers. The Peugeot LANDTREK is not a French-made vehicle, but is a Chinese CHANGAN pickup truck with design influences and/or branding done by Peugeot to sell in the international market. Peugeot had a need of a pickup truck in the global market but were unable to fund and expertise in developing trucks. They did not develop their own platform, but rather collaborated with a Chinese manufacturer, CHANGAN, to rebadge an existing platform. The LANDTREK has Chinese engineering, Chinese assembly, Chinese pricing, and European price. European customers who are desiring of the French design philosophy and the engineering heritage are provided with the Chinese truck technology with the Peugeot badges. The trick is most especially noticeable in those markets where the two brands are being sold, and even upon exposing them, the specifications of the two are identically equal, and there are similarism of pricing structures. Number 10. Mazda 2 Toyota Yaris, 2020 present US version. When Toyota thought that they would be unwilling to spend time on producing a new miniature vehicle to sell to the US market, they simply tried to strike a deal with Mazda. And then the Mazda 2 was renamed to the Toyota Yaris. But that is where the weird part starts. Toyota was already selling a Yaris in the rest of the world, but the US version of Yaris was totally different and was, in fact, a Mazda. The same interior, the same engine, the same transmission, the same everything, and a Toyota badge on it, and a Toyota warranty. What is the difference in the price? In some instances, Toyota ended up raking in more money than Mazda made off their car by rebadging the Mazda. This created a bizarre situation where Toyota dealers were selling a Mazda product while Mazda dealers were selling the original version. The really crazy part is that Toyota's version sometimes had different recall notices than Mazda's version for the exact same defects in the exact same car. Number 11. Renault Arcana Samsung XM3 2019 present. This international badge exchange shows the confusion in the market that global automotive alliances bring about. The Renault Arcana available in the European market is in fact the Samsung XM3 produced and developed in South Korea, but with only some slight adaptations to enable it to tailor the European markets. Samsung, Renault Samsung Motors, came up with this coupe SUV, but Renault had no effective means of penetrating the European coupe SUV segment cheaply. Rather than having a design of their own, they chose to import the Korean design and rebrand them with the French names and European market specifications. Customers who buy an Arcana in Europe are expecting to receive the power of French automotive engineering, but instead are getting Korean design and production under the Renault logo as it is based on its replica. The prices are based on European market demand and not Korean materials cost, which greatly explains their profitability due to badge engineering. Number 12. Ram 1200 Mitsubishi Triton 2015 present. This global badge exchange demonstrates that the international car alliances lead to some very strange scenarios. The Ram 1200 sold to the Middle East and South America has no relation to Ram since it is a Mitsubishi Triton with Ram branding. Stellantis, previously Fiat Chrysler, had a gap in its lineup which required a compact pickup truck to sell to international markets, but they did not want to spend development costs and money acquiring their own truck, so they simply acquired Mitsubishi, rebranded it. The ironic thing about it is that the marketing of Ram in such markets centers around the history and American prowess of the truck, when this is not the case as they are selling a truck designed by the Japanese and manufactured in Thailand. The Triton underneath is, however, a thoroughly decent vehicle, but by buying a Ram, those customers of Ram think they have got their hands on a totally different product to that which Mitsubishi is selling. Such an organization brings out the focus of the modern automobile alliances in developing products that only serve the purposes of market positioning but not engineering distinctions. It is a Japanese reliability when the truck is offered as a Mitsubishi and American toughness when it is offered as a Ram and which dealer you visit. Number 13. Fiat 500X Jeep Renegade 2014 present. The collaboration that occurred between the 500X and the Renegade are among the most successful of the badge engineering activities of recent automotive history. These smaller SUVs are based on the same platform, have the same engines, and almost the same interiors, but they have different branding because of visual differences and marketing. Both these cars are produced in the same factory in Italy, utilizing the same safety features, same all-wheel drive mechanisms, same entertainment system. Chrysler and Jeep remind people that off-road capability and an authentically American brand are their defining features, whereas Fiat is more about Italian design and city living. The pricing policies are also quite different in various markets across the globe. In certain regions, the Jeep will be sold at a premium prices over identical mechanical parts, whereas in other regions it will be priced in a competitive state. Both versions were successful, which proves that good marketing can cope with apparent platform sharing. Number 14. Suzuki Across Toyota Corolla Cross 2020 present. This partnership demonstrates the effect of regulation on driving badge engineering options. The Suzuki Across is simply a rebadged Toyota Corolla Cross hybrid in order to allow Suzuki to do the bare minimum to meet their European CO2 fleet emission targets without having to develop their own hybrid technology. Suzuki required hybrid cars as soon as possible to prevent the fines that were to be imposed by the European Union regarding the emission levels, and Toyota had the tools to make hybrids and the capacity to produce them. It replaces the Scion XB and uses the same hybrid powertrain used in the Toyota Corolla and Toyota Camry. The Across uses Toyota safety systems, Toyota manufacturing quality, and Toyota parts. European buyers who buy an Across get Toyota longevity and good mileage at Suzuki prices and distribution network. The setup is of mutual benefit as the company's Suzuki will avoid emission fines, and yet Toyota will have an opportunity of expanding the market base using the Suzuki dealer base as well. Number 15. Citroën Ami, Opel Roxy, Fiat Topolino 2020 present. The Opel Roxy, Fiat Topolino, and Citroën Ami are not only the same kind of cars, but literally the same quadricycles with varying exterior stickers and colors of trim. European microcars are the same in terms of body plastic, the same in terms of body 5.5 horsepower electric motor, the same in terms of range of 28 miles, identical interior finishing. The only differences are the cosmetic features such as grilles designs, wheel patterns, and badge position. One of the vehicles developed by the Stellantis was sold through 3 brands. Across the European markets, the prices differ very much, even though the specifications are similar. There are the premium badges that are charged at a premium price in some countries, and in some other countries, the price of these badges is charged at a competitive price. This 3-pack is the perfect example of how badge engineering in contemporary times takes advantage of brand loyalty and positioning in a market. Number 16. Mitsubishi Xpander, Nissan Livina, 2019 to present. This is a Southeast Asian badge invest and demonstrates just how willing automakers have become to do anything to attract market share on a regional scale of competition. The Nissan Livina is not a Nissan creation. It is a Nissan design Xpander with different badging and minor design changes. Nissan wanted a 7-seat people-moving MPV, and it did not have the development funds, so the company formed an agreement with Mitsubishi to use the existing product. Both these vehicles are manufactured at same production lines in Indonesia with the same chassis, same engine, and very similar interior. They only differ as regards to the front grille design and badge location. Nevertheless, Nissan dealers attempt to persuade the customers that their model is more reliable and technologically advanced. The most ridiculous thing is the fact that in markets where both models are sold, people can actually compare the same vehicles face to face. As such, the Xpander and Livina are subject to exactly the same service operations, parts catalogs, and service schedules. The customers are making a decision on the basis of whether to take the different copies of the same piece of engineering because of just the name that they know or convenience of having a dealer in their area. Number 17. Nissan Magnite, Renault Kiger, 2020 present. In our last example, we are going to see how the Nissan-Renault joint venture produces some of the most open badge engineering ever seen in automotive history. The Nissan Magnite and Renault Kiger introduced in 2020-2021 are identical in CMF A+ platform, have identical engines, have identical transmissions right down to the detail that they have almost identical interior layout. They are manufactured in the same Indian assembly lines, employing the same safety systems, the same infotainment technology, and the same mechanical parts. The only practical differences are styling details and trim material that differs according to brand. Nissan lays stress on stability and universal ancestry, whereas Renault on the French design and technology. This is especially heinous in the pricing strategy. Depending on the market, it is possible to find dealers offering very different prices between mechanically identical vehicles, even though the price is reflecting brand perceptions and not on engineering aspects. The option between these little SUVs is basically badge and convenience of dealer network rather than any technical differences having significant technical differences. So, there you have it, 17 shameless examples of how automakers have been playing the ultimate long game with your trust. Whether it's a subtle logo swap or a blatant clone, they've been cashing in on badge loyalty while you foot the bill for identical engineering. So, next time when you are car shopping, ask yourself, am I paying for better engineering or just a fancier story? And in case you were eye-opened, do not forget to subscribe and leave a comment about what badge swap surprised you most.